two things we can do to make the piston run better. You can see the sharp edges right here, here and here, on the very edges right there, the outside edges. What you can do is take your file, and I'll just use this nail file as an example. Well, what you do is you take your nail file and you file this little edge, or they call it chamfering. Basically, you're taking off this little teeny edge right here and right here on the outside, so that sharp edge does not get inside the cylinder right here and scratch it. That's one thing you can do. The next thing that we can do is to have a better oiling system for the piston, and they have a trick called chamfering. Let me get a seat here. I got a seat over here and I'm standing up here, and I stand all day long, so, and I hope you like my videos. I know they're long, but I just enjoy making them, but I don't want to make all my videos too complicated, because then it becomes work, and once it becomes work, then I don't want to do it. Now on your piston, we can do a couple of little things to make the piston more efficient. Remember that they are made with probably a 10% plus or minus margin of error, because they're not, the dies that make them aren't exactly perfect all the time. What we want to do is, this bottom ring system right here is what oils the piston. The oil comes in from the bottom, it goes through these little 4 holes on one side and little 4 holes on the other side, and they come out right here on this 3rd ring right here, and it coats the cylinder going down, and as it coats the cylinder, the rings hit it and it coats the rings. If we want to keep more oil on the cylinder walls right here, on the cylinder walls, what we can do, see, that looks pretty good right there. What we can do is, if you turn the piston upside down and you run your fingers on the edges right here, you'll notice they're very sharp. Okay? What we can do is take some 2000 grit, and it's called chamfering. But we take the 2000 grit and lightly go over, where did that thing go again? Well, we use our nail file again. We lightly go over and round this edge right here, all the way around. Just round it just a little bit. Okay? You don't have to round the inside, just the outside, just these edges right here. On, that's kind of, I love the emblem. Right here on this side, from here to here, if you turn the piston around from here to here, just on the very outside. By rounding the edges on the outside just slightly, it's called chamfering. It's some fancy French word, I think. It means rounding an edge or easing it or taking off the sharp end. This allows more oil to stay on the side of the piston. Now, how that works exactly, it'd take me a while to explain it, and I'm not going to do it. But that's one thing that you can do. So what we're going to do is make sure these holes are clean in here. We're going to take my wrist pin right here and sand the edges. What you do is you just hold it straight. Well, let's see. You hold it straight on the block over here with the sandpaper and a little bit of, you can use WD or simple green or whatever you want to use, and we slowly go like this, and we just lightly sand this surface so that it's smooth, so that when it goes to hit on the little C-ring, and that ring or clamp, wrist pin clamp, fits right here. Now you can't see that very good against the black. That's why I like to bring in my trusty flashlight. Now you can see where the end of the wrist pin rubs against the other side of the wrist pin clip. Now what happens is some of these aftermarket pistons, they come with wrist pin that's rough, and what it does is, you can see right what it does. It eats through the ring or the clamp right on this edge and right on this edge, and when that eats through, then your ring drops out, and you don't usually lose a wrist pin out of your piston. But what you will do is you'll get all these pieces down into your motor, and it will fuck it up like you wouldn't believe. You could waste a $500 motor. Now you see how I'm holding that? You can't see what I'm holding, okay, because of all this background noise. But if I were to take this and go like this. This isn't the best, but that's even better right there. You can see how that stainless steel would absolutely mess up your motor, which we don't want to do. So these are just a few tips and tricks that we're going to do to rebuild this engine. Next videos will be on, we'll put the piston rings on in the correct order, in the correct, they have to be, the gaps have to be 120 degrees away from each other, which is for compression reasons. It's not really important, but it's the way they want to do it. It's the way they want to do it. After I put the rings on, then we'll see if it will fit freely in the cylinder. Then I'll connect the piston to the brand new crank, and we'll install the crank into this half and into this half. Now right now I think I'm going to go upload these videos to my computer and then have them uploaded to YouTube while I come out here and do this again. So I hope you like the videos. I do like them, but I know that the older I get, the slower I get. When I was a young man, I wanted to do everything Johnny on the spot right fucking now. And if there was a problem with a bearing, or a problem with brakes, or a problem with the wrist pin, and I didn't know what to do about it, I would say, oh, I know, I won't think about it, and it will take care of itself. That's the way I thought at 19. And that kind of philosophy cost me a lot of money. So if we understand the Ruckus engine and how it works by a great teacher like me, or anyone, well, like me, who will take the time and do it for free, then after you rebuild one Ruckus engine, you can rebuild a whole bunch of them. It's simple. But we have to do our first one. So all you Ruckus virgins out there, we're going to build a motor.